Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Guys, I want to give you a quick update. As you guys know, we've been on the road. Actually, we were where there was no signal. um, we were out in the middle of nowhere, and it was absolutely blissful and it was beautiful. And that's where we made the video that we put up this morning, the previous night. So we're on the road, and wow, look at the earthquakes at the Salton Sea. Holy crap!
Mm.
Yeah, I'll keep it PG. 143 quakes right there. The San Andreas, it ends up turning into the San Jacinto, and this is basically right in that area. There's a lot of pressure right now. Been going on with this slow slip phenomenon that we've seen from Cascadia all the way down to San Andreas. We've seen a lot of unusual swarms in different places. We've been watching the ones up in Tonopah, to the west of Tonopah. And we've also been watching on and off quite a few over by Mono Lake and also by Long Valley Caldera, which is a supervolcano. I know Mary Greeley came out with a video a day or so ago talking about Yellowstone. And I think we are getting close to so many things coming down. As we've been saying to you guys, hold on to your hats for the last part of 2020. Hang on tight. And, today there was shooting going on outside the White House. They actually rushed President Trump off stage. Is that a foreboding sign of things to come? And no, we're not doom mongering and we're not trying to manifest something negative. It's just it's just expressing what's happening. It's quite clear what's happening. And as we've said, this year is going to be going out with a bang, to put it mildly. We also have China with basically mobilizing amphibious ships right now across from Taiwan. We also have a confrontation brewing, perhaps, between Turkey and Greece. Turkey has naval ships in Greece's territory right now. The fuse is lit. We could see this. It's pretty obvious. The fuse is lit. Things are coming to a head. It's going to be just one event after another. So quick, it's going to take our breath away. So what do? Well, we just have to prepare. We have to prepare as best we can. We have also seen that there's been a lot of issues with satellites. Who was it today that was covering?
Divine.
Oh, it was, our brother David Devine over at DAP 2030 was talking about the satellite issues down in the land down under in Australia. And also, obviously, what's going to be very apparent as far as the food shortages that are taking place and will manifest themselves next month quite clearly to most. And, if you need any other reason to be as prepared as you can be and to be sending out positive vibes, and again, we're making these videos so you can send out positive vibes and be aware of what's going on. So many people are not aware of what's going on. Cindy and I just had a really nice dinner with two wonderful ladies, one of which was a federal appeals judge. And, it was a very, very interesting conversation with some wonderful people. And there's a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on behind the scenes and a lot of things going on right in front of our faces. So again, I want to ask everybody to prepare as best you can, mentally, spiritually, physically as well, in any way that you can. We'll be doing more videos in the next couple of days because we'll actually have signal to keep you guys abreast of everything that's happening. There's a lot going on, and we really need to take our preps to the highest level right now. Cindy, any thoughts?
Just my thoughts are always to go within, find that center, learn how to find that center for yourself, and teach other people how to find their center too, because when things do hit the fan, we're going to need to get there fast so that we're the calm ones. We know what to do. We have the answers because people are going to look to us.
And so I felt all along that this year had a really high probability of us seeing Cascadia and or the San Andreas going off in a big manner before the end of the year. And I still feel that's it's very highly likely. I don't think we're going to see the New Madrid go off for quite a while. And, well, maybe like around 2024 or somewhere thereabouts. But first, I think we are going to see Cascadia and the San Andreas going off. Not that this indicates that, because this might just be another crazy swarm like we've seen so many crazy swarms. Or this could be something a little bit different. We've talked about the Walker Lane, which goes right along the border of Nevada and California, from the Gulf of New Mexico right along the border. With the way Cascadia and the San Andreas have been locked up in this slow slip, it puts more pressure over in that area. And so the scientists have said that basically 75% of the pressure is on the San Andreas, but about 25% is on Walker Lane. And with the slow slip phenomena going on, it makes me feel that more and more of the energy is being diverted inland to the Walker Lane. And the Walker Lane, again, it could be the outer edge of the continental U.S. at some point in the future, perhaps not in our lifetime or even in our kids' lifetime, but maybe down the line quite a bit. You will actually have waterfront property there along what is now just desert, along Nevada and California's border. The Baja California, as we know, at one time it was connected to Mexico's mainland. And as time has gone on, it's split and gotten farther out. And so that would basically keep going, is the theory behind the Walker Lane, all the way up to Reno, Nevada. And, is that in the cards for us? Or is the San Andreas event in the cards? And as we've talked about with the San Andreas event, some have theorized that LA might be farther north than San Francisco at some point. Crazy things to fathom, but the world has seen crazy events, and that is obvious when even in New Mexico you can find evidence that one time some of these areas, which most of the areas that we've been traveling through today, I've been keeping track of, are over 5,000 or 6,000 feet, and currently we're sitting over 7,000 feet. But yet there's evidence that this was under ocean at some point in time. And I know people have looked at the Earth change maps and said, how is that possible? How could you have Utah underwater? How could you have Nevada underwater? So many of these areas are like 6,000 feet, 7,000 feet. And again, I look to Hapgood and Velikovsky, as well as the evidence that we could see when we look at the formation of the Hawaiian Islands. If you follow that plume, because all those islands, you could trace them all the way back to the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia. And they were all made by the same plume. And you could see that at some point in time, there was 110 degree, about, shift on the plate. The plate moves at more than a 90 degree angle. Can you imagine what cataclysm that would have caused to have the plate move at such a large angle? You would have just amazing tidal waves. You would have incredible destruction. It would just be mind-blowing. And yet, there is the evidence of that. There are so many submerged cities off our coastlines. More than just even what we would take with the sea level rise due to the melting of the polar caps. It's been theorized that if the polar caps were to melt, we would have, obviously we'd have such an inundation. What happened during the Younger Dryas period, 11,700 years ago? That asteroid impact or whatever it was that did amazing damage and gave us all these universal flood stories. Change can happen rapidly, so we need to prepare as best we can. And again, we are spiritual beings having a heavy 3D existence, which gives us the opportunity for a lot of growth, as you've been talking about, Cindy.
It does, and I just want people to recognize that. You notice the difference with the earth. It seems like the earth is like shifting into high gear with the chaos, as are we. So it's truly as above, so below going on that I see and sense.
So guys, thank you so much for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Keep putting the positive vibes out there. We have to pull together in these times. We will come out of this with a much better society, with a much better world system. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.